If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi and welcome back to Courtside Financial. But before we begin, I want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like button because it really goes a long way in helping out the video. And then also click that notification bell icon so you're notified about every time I post some cool content. Is NIO a luxury brand? The answer is without a doubt. The average selling price of their vehicles is 340,000 RMB, but NIO has yet to enjoy the dividends of being a luxury brand. In the fuel vehicle industry, Mercedes-Benz can rely on the S-Class while harvesting the mass market with the C-Class. This methodology has also been verified on Tesla, but it has yet to be proven with NIO. The much anticipated ET5 is late. It has not yet been able to become NIO's Model 3 for a long time, and whether it can surpass the BMW 3 Series in sales within a year has also yet to be proven. NIO started as a luxury business and it's kind of stuck in luxury right now. Although they're trying to scale into the mass market with their new sub-brand ALPS, which I'm very excited about, it remains to be seen whether that transition will work out for the company or not. NIO's research and development expenditure in the fourth quarter of last year was as high as 3.98 billion RMB, which is equivalent to the whole year of 2018. As a new force in this industry, high R&D expenditures are understandable and even a good thing. The founder of Huawei has repeatedly emphasized that Huawei can save money everywhere, but absolutely not in R&D. If you're saving money in R&D, that means that you're falling behind your competitors in this space, unfortunately. However, NIO has been established for more than 8 years. In 2016, the cumulative R&D expenditure from the year to now is as high as 30 billion RMB, of which 10.8 billion RMB was spent just in 2022. NIO's research and development expenses last year were 5.5 times that of Tesla in the same period. Money spent on research and development that year may not have a positive impact until next year or even the year later. Comparing to Tesla, in 2017, before Tesla's sales exploded, Tesla's single car R&D expenses also reached a pretty high amount, but the reason for this high amount was because that Tesla only had 3 cars at the time and the cheapest Model 3 had not yet been delivered on a large scale. In contrast, NIO had 6 models on sale last year, including the popular ET5. From an absolute value point of view, the R&D investment of Xiaopeng each quarter since last year is about 1.5 billion RMB, and the R&D cost of vehicles is about 50,000 RMB, which is much lower than NIO. Although William Li, the founder of NIO, often emphasizes that it took Tesla 16 years to turn a profit, Tesla, for example, after it climbed out of production hell and the Model 3 began to be delivered on a large scale around the world, the cost of single vehicle R&D has dropped all the way. In 2022, it would only be $2,340 per vehicle, which is almost twice that of Ford, 2.2 times that of Toyota, and 2.2 times that of GM during the same period. Before the popularization of autonomous driving, the background of the automobile industry is still in the manufacturing industry. If NIO does not increase the volume, it cannot dilute the cost. If the amount of data is small, the amount of data cannot support the algorithm iteration, and it will fall behind when it enters into the era of AI. In other words, without the Model 3, Tesla wouldn't be alive today. And without full self-driving, Tesla's market value would not be able to reach the $1 trillion high that it reached. But unfortunately, NIO has strong blood and the founder's financing ability is also strong enough. It is still no problem to continue to support tens of billions of research and development every year. Low R&D efficiency is killing the patience of investors. Objectively speaking, most of the companies in this space have been burning money since their establishment, but the focus and phase goals are different. So why is NIO investing so much in research and development? There are both industry reasons and the company's own choice to do this. Today, the automobile industry is in an era of change between the old and the new, the incumbents and the newcomers. But the success of the new is not achieved overnight. The main reason is because although electric vehicles do not have engines and gearboxes The technical difficulty has not decreased but actually has increased, and it's because of a lot of software. On the other hand, it's also because the current electric vehicle industry has put forward higher requirements for vertical integration. This was unimaginable in the era of ICE vehicles. Going back to 20 years ago, whether it was Volkswagen, Toyota, or GM, most of the parts were outsourced to suppliers of different levels, and the proportion of self-developed, self-produced vehicles was very low. Due to the relatively stable overall technology development, relatively slow product iterations, and extremely stable industry structure, luxury brands at the top of the pyramid can earn a premium of 20 to 30%. But at this stage, new forces like NIO can't lie down and win. They don't even have a chance to lie down and take a breath because electric vehicles involve more and more new technologies, and these technologies are changing with each day. They can only spend money like crazy and attack every angle possible. In 2020, when NIO came out of the shadow of bankruptcy, its stock price hit a record high and its pockets bulged. In general, if NIO wants to seize food from traditional tycoons and luxury automakers, there's no possibility of cutting the research and development spend. It's just that NIO is an ambitious company with high standard. NIO has this sentiment of, I have what other brands don't have, and I'll get what other brands don't have. William Li's ambition is very high, which directly drags down from NIO's profitability. Looking at the world, only Tesla and BYD can make money by selling electric vehicles in the market. Among the newer players, NIO is undoubtedly the one that has gone the furthest in terms of vertical integration. As early as 2016, NIO established NIO Power. The company is charging off in the right direction, taking on large projects such as self-developed batteries. At the moment, there aren't many recent specific official disclosures about what NIO is working on when it comes to their self-developed batteries. But what is certain is that the ALPS brand focuses on the mass market below 300,000 RMB, and you can liken the relationship with ALPS and NIO to the relationship between Toyota and Lexus. There's definitely high hopes when it comes to this ALPS project, and the monthly sales target is set at 50,000 vehicles, which is higher than Tesla's average monthly delivery in China last year. All of NIO's cars use dual motors, and the ALPS brand will be no exception. The company just doesn't believe in that. I remember talking about it in a video not too long ago where President Qin Li Hong, I believe, said, "What if one motor fails? That's just not quality." However, creating single motor products in the lesser brand would be able to save them on cost. NIO is a very visionary company because if ALPS can achieve this sales target, then NIO as a whole can reach an annual sales scale of 1 million, and there's no need to rush the ET5 and compromise on performance. In this case, self-developed chips and batteries can not only diversify supply chain risk, but also be profitable. At present, battery costs account for about 40% of the cost of electric vehicles, and the gross profit margin of battery factories is about 20%. If some of them can be produced by themselves, the gross profit margin can be increased. This idea is good, but there are still several uncertainties in realizing it. First, of course, is whether ALPS can become a hit, and half of NIO's life is betting on this project. Secondly, whether its self-developed batteries are cost-effective compared to an industry leader like CATL. As for batteries, the number of research and development personnel has exceeded 800, and the annual research and development investment exceeds 1 billion RMB. From past history, it's like a double-edged sword. If it's done well, it can improve the efficiency and the profit margin of research and development and grasp the initiative of competition. However, if it's not done well, or when the market is not good, it will bear huge costs and lose its competitive advantage, falling out of the race. NIO has always been willing to spend a lot of money. At the fourth quarter financial report meeting, William Li was asked about the performance of the European market. His answer was, the speed of infrastructure construction in the European market is much lower than expected. It seems to him that no matter where the product is sold, it's not because the demand is insufficient, but because the supporting infrastructure is not in place. Of course, this practice of widening the moat through infrastructure construction is not without the precedent in other industries. For example, in the field of e-commerce, JD.com and Amazon have been criticized for their self-built logistics, which has dragged down the company's profits. However, after so many years of layout, logistics efficiency has become a major competitive advantage for both platforms. NIO also wants to achieve a similar layout of power swap stations, which can not only stimulate demand, but also widen the moat. Also, to achieve the medium to long-term goal of annual sales of 1 million to also 25% gross margin profit. But before reaching this, NIO has to stay financially afloat and also have one small victory after the other. NIO has a promising road ahead, but there's definitely going to be some headwind.